Greetings folks, and peace of Christ be on all of us. I'm very happy to see you again in this new video in the series. In the last video, we left off at this verse where Jesus quotes the apocalyptic language to signify his coming. Jesus says, immediately after the troubles of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not reflect its light, the stars will fall from the sky, the powers from the heavens will be disrupted. We can clearly observe that Jesus is speaking in apocalyptic language, which is from the Old Testament. But where is Jesus quoting this from? Jesus is quoting this from Isaiah chapter 13 verse 10, Isaiah chapter 34 verse 4, and Joel chapter 2 verse 10. Jesus beautifully juxtaposes these three passages to make his point. The element of sun being darkened is found in Isaiah chapter 13 verse 10, the sun will be dark, and Joel chapter 2 verse 10, the sun will grow dark. The element of moon not reflecting its light is also found in Isaiah chapter 13 verse 10, and the moon won't shine its light, and Joel chapter 2 verse 10, and the moon will grow dark. The element of stars falling from the sky is found in Isaiah chapter 34 verse 4. All the stars in the heaven will fall down. And the powers from the heaven being disrupted is found in Isaiah chapter 13 verse 10. For the stars of the heavens and their constellation won't shine their light. And Joel chapter 2 verse 10. And the stars will stop shining. But what was Isaiah and Joel talking about? Isaiah in chapter 13 was talking about the destruction of Babylon. Isaiah in chapter 34 was talking about the destruction of Edom. Joel in chapter 2 was talking about the destruction of Jerusalem. Again, none of these prophets were talking about the destruction of the whole world or the end of the time-space continuum. They were talking about the destruction of a temporal nation in a local way. Jesus is beautifully juxtaposing these three passages and making his own apocalyptic language. Even the next verse has an Old Testament flavor to it. Then the sign that is the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and all the tribes of the land will mourn as they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Even in this verse, Jesus is using three Old Testament passages to make his point. The element of all the tribes of the land mourning is found in Zechariah chapter 12 verse 11 and 12. At that time, Jerusalem will mourn deeply, and so all the land will mourn, families by family, and so on. Then the sign that is the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven is found in Daniel chapter 7 verse 13. And look, someone like the Son of Man was coming accompanied by the heavenly clouds in Isaiah chapter 19 verse 1. Watch out, the Lord rides on a swift cloud and is coming to Egypt. So let's ask the same question once again. What was Zechariah, Daniel, and Isaiah talking about? Well, Zechariah was talking about the destruction of Jerusalem, Daniel was talking about the destruction of the fourth kingdom, and Isaiah was talking about the destruction of Egypt. Again, all these prophets were talking about a local temporal destruction of a nation, not the end of the world. And yet I would like to share an interesting fact about this verse that may answer some question and objections. And it says, as they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. The Greek word for see here is this word, which I have no clue how to pronounce. But this word is derived from the Greek orao. Now let us see the meaning of orao. What does orao mean? Orao means to see, perceive, or attend to. The definition of this word is also to see, perceive, or attend to. While we can use this as see or look upon, we can use this as to experience, perceive, discern, or beware. HELPS, Helps Word Study, says orao, properly to see, often with a metaphorical meaning, to see with the mind, or to see spiritually, or to perceive with inward spiritual perception. What I am trying to get at by the meaning of this verse is, orao does not always mean to see with the naked eye. It most often means to see spiritually or perceive inwardly. Jesus says in this next verse, He'll send out His angels with a loud trumpet blast, and they'll gather His elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another. But when did this happen? When did Jesus send His angels to gather His elect from all the earth? We can know the answer for this when we study the word angels. In the Greek, it's angelos, and it's not always used for beings with wings. It's also used for human messengers. For example, in Matthew 11 verse 10, when Jesus says about John the Baptist, see, I am sending my messenger ahead of you. The word for messenger there in the Greek is angelon, which literally means an angel. Interesting, isn't it? Similarly, in this next example, in Luke chapter 7 verse 24, it says, when John's messengers had gone. Even in this verse, the Greek word for messengers is angelon. But some might object and say the word in Matthew 24 verse 31 is angelos. No problem. James chapter 2 verse 25, it says, "Likewise, Rahab the prostitute was justified through actions when she welcomed the messengers." Guess what word is used in the Greek for messengers? It's angelos. Now you might be wondering, why does the Bible most often or frequently call human beings as angels? That's because the word angel does not mean a supernatural being with wings. It does not mean that. Instead, it just means a messenger. The word angel does not denote a being. Instead, it denotes a job description, mainly as a messenger, envoy, or the one who sent with a message. So now we can know what Jesus meant when he said he'll send out his angels and they'll gather his elect from the four winds. Jesus is referring to the spread of the gospel, by which he'll send his messengers, the apostles, to gather all his elect from all over the world. In the next verse we read, "Now learn a lesson from the fig tree. When its branches become tender and it produces leaves, you know that the summer is near. In the same way, when you see all these things, you'll know that the Son of Man is near, right at the door. I tell you all with certainty, this generation won't pass until these things take place." In that context, a generation is about 40 years. Now let's map this on a timeline. When Jesus uttered this word or prophecy, he uttered this prophecy in 33 AD. Exactly 40 years later, Jerusalem was destroyed in the Roman wars, which happened in 66 to 73 AD. Exactly in that generation that Jesus said would not pass until all these things take place. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll see what did Jesus mean when he said, "No one knows when that day and hour will come, neither the heavenly angels nor the Son, but only the Father." Was Jesus ignorant here? Did he not know the timing of his own coming? If he didn't know, how can he be God? We'll explore all of that in the next video. Until then, take care and God bless you.